In the endless river of online content, your game trailer has a fleeting moment to make a connection. Most viewers will decide whether to keep watching or scroll on within the first few seconds. This isn't a time for subtlety or a slow-building studio logo. It's a 3-second audition for their attention. Your primary goal is to immediately implant the game's core feeling into the viewer's mind. Find the one single, powerful idea that defines your game and present it without hesitation. This is your hook. Sharp, immediate, compelling. What does that look like in practice? A visually stunning shot of your game's most unique environment, a moment of high-impact action, an intriguing character animation that sparks curiosity. Think about what makes your game special. Breathtaking speed? Show it. Mind-bending puzzle mechanic. Hint at the solution. Deeply emotional narrative. Show a character's face filled with feeling. Pair that visual or auditory jolt with a single concise text line stating the game's promise. Survive the alien swarm. Solve a forgotten mystery. Don't explain everything, establish a question the trailer will answer. The hook plants a seed of curiosity. Show a lone spaceship dodging a colossal asteroid field. What is that? How do I control it? Can I survive that? Front-load the most exciting, representative moment to promise the experience. Once you have successfully hooked the viewer, your next responsibility is to deliver on that initial promise by showing them what they will actually be doing in your game. Players are savvy. They want to see the core gameplay loop, not just polished cinematic sequences that bear little resemblance to the final product. Showing gameplay is an act of transparency that builds trust. It answers the fundamental question on every player's mind: what kind of game is this, and will I enjoy playing it? Introduce core mechanics within the first 10 to 20 seconds. Showcase the moment-to-moment action clearly. If your game is a platformer, show the character running and jumping. If it's a strategy game, show units being commanded and resources being managed. Use short, clean shots that focus on a single action. Resist the temptation to hide your game's interface or camera perspective. Showing a clean segment of real gameplay, even if it's just a few seconds long, is infinitely more valuable than a minute of disconnected cutscenes that tell the player nothing about how the game controls or feels. If your game has a particularly unique mechanic, it deserves a spotlight. Don't assume viewers will understand it just by seeing it once at full speed. This is one of the few instances where using a subtle slow-motion effect can be beneficial. Slow the action down just enough to let the player's eye follow the cause and effect of your unique system. You can supplement this with simple, non-intrusive on-screen text to clarify what's happening. For example, a label like Gravity Shift or Rewind Time. Remember to present your gameplay in the best possible light. This doesn't mean faking it, but it does mean curating it. Capture footage from the most visually interesting parts of your game, where the mechanics shine. Ensure the clips are smooth and free of glitches or performance stutters. If your game is still early in development and you don't have polished representative footage, it's better to use high-quality, animated screenshots that clearly communicate the art style and gameplay intent. However, real moving footage is always the superior choice, as it's the most honest representation of what players will experience. Visual summary. Combat. Visual summary. Crafting. Visual summary. Exploration. Visual summary. Puzzle solving. Don't start with your studio logo. Don't start with a fade from black. Don't start with a slow pan over a generic landscape. Those waste the trailer's most valuable real estate. Your studio's name is important to you, but it means very little to a potential player who has never heard of your game. You must earn their interest first. Lead with the game itself. A great trailer isn't just a collection of gameplay clips, it's a carefully constructed rhythm of sight and sound designed to evoke a specific feeling. The pacing of your cuts, the length of your shots, the music you choose are all tools for shaping the viewer's emotional journey. The rhythm of your trailer should mirror the rhythm of your game. An intense, fast-paced action game demands quick cuts that sync with an energetic soundtrack. A slower, more contemplative puzzle or exploration game can benefit from longer, more deliberate shots that allow the viewer to soak in the atmosphere. Music is the engine of your trailer's pacing. Don't just pick a generic stock track, find a piece of music that perfectly captures your game's mood. Once you have your track, use its beats and crescendos as a guide for your editing. A cut that lands perfectly on a drum beat or a swell in the music feels satisfying and professional. This creates a powerful synergy, where the visuals and audio are working together to amplify the game's core feeling. Use silence strategically, 2. A sudden pause in the music can build tension or draw attention to a critical moment before the action kicks back in. Visual honesty is also a key component of your editing philosophy. Your trailer should be a faithful representation of your game's art style. Don't obscure it with excessive motion blur lens flares, other post-processing effects that aren't present in the actual game. Players can feel when a trailer is trying to disguise a game's true appearance, and it erodes trust. Your art style is part of your game's identity. Let it be seen clearly. Each shot should be framed with intention, ensuring that the subject is clear and the composition is visually pleasing. Avoid the machine gun editing style where dozens of microsecond clips are stitched together in a chaotic mess. While this might seem energetic, it often leaves the viewer feeling confused and unable to comprehend what they're seeing. Every shot should have a purpose, and should be on screen just long enough for the viewer to process the information it contains. A good rule of thumb is to let a shot breathe for a second or two before cutting away. This balance between energetic pacing and visual clarity is what separates a professional-feeling trailer from an amateurish one. Even the most mechanically brilliant gameplay can feel hollow in a trailer without a hint of context. Viewers connect with stories, no matter how simple. By weaving a small narrative thread through your trailer, you give the gameplay clips a sense of purpose and direction. This doesn't mean you need to spoil your entire plot. In fact, you shouldn't. Instead, you should present a simple, digestible story arc that can be understood in under a minute. This arc often follows a classic three-part structure. Show a challenge hint at a resolution. This narrative can often be summarized in a single sentence. For example, a lone knight must defeat the dragon to save the kingdom. The trailer can then show the knights starting their journey, followed by clips of them fighting smaller monsters that challenge, and ending with a dramatic shot of them confronting the massive dragon, the hinted resolution. This simple structure provides a framework for your gameplay clips, transforming them from a random assortment of actions into a cohesive and compelling journey. It helps the viewer understand the why behind the what, you know. The narrative thread also helps to structure the trailer's escalation. You can start with basic actions like movement, simple interactions. Then as the music builds, you can introduce more complex challenges abilities, showing the player overcoming increasingly difficult obstacles. This creates a natural crescendo that builds excitement and showcases the depth of your game. It gives the impression of progression and growth, which is a core appeal of many games. Remember to keep this story simple and visual. Rely on your game's imagery to do the heavy lifting. A shot of a character looking at a distant castle on a map immediately establishes a goal. A clip of them fighting a large enemy clearly communicates a challenge. You don't need lengthy voiceovers or text cards explaining the lore of your world. Let the sequence of events speak for itself. This subtle storytelling transforms your trailer from a feature list into an invitation, making players not just understand your game, but care about its outcome. While visuals and gameplay form the heart of your trailer, several other elements work behind the scenes to ensure its success. These unsung heroes, sound design, on-screen text, the video thumbnail are often overlooked, but they play a crucial role in clarity, engagement, and discoverability. Great sound design, for instance, adds weight and impact to every action. The satisfying crunch of a successful attack, the whir of a machine, or the ambient sounds of a thriving forest all contribute to making your game world feel real and reactive. With game sound effects, music, and any voiceover balanced harmoniously, on-screen text, when used sparingly, is a powerful tool for clarification. The goal is not to write paragraphs but to use short, punchy phrases that reinforce what the viewer is seeing. Explore, craft, survive, unravel the mystery. Use a large, clean, and easily readable font that matches your game's aesthetic. The text should appear on screen long enough to be read comfortably, but not so long that it overstays its welcome. Think of it as a helpful label, not a full explanation. Perhaps the most critical unsung hero is the thumbnail. This single image is your game's front door on platforms like YouTube. It's the first thing people see, and is often the sole factor in their decision to click. A great thumbnail is bold, clear, and intriguing. It should feature a striking image from your game, often the main character, a key enemy, or a breathtaking vista. Avoid cluttering the thumbnail with too much text or too many small details. Its job is to grab attention and communicate the game's genre and mood in a single glance. Finally, the title of your video is just as important as the thumbnail. It should be clear and descriptive. Including the game's name and a short, enticing tagline is a common and effective strategy. For example, Project Wisp, an acrobatic platformer, official reveal trailer. This tells the viewer the name of the game, its genre, and the purpose of the video. Together, a strong title and a compelling thumbnail are your 1-2 punch for winning the click and getting viewers to watch the trailer you've worked so hard to create. Don't treat them as an afterthought, they are the gatekeepers to your audience. After you've hooked your audience, showcased your gameplay, and built a compelling rhythm, the final seconds of your trailer are for the final handshake. This is where you tell the viewer exactly what you want them to do next. A trailer that fades to black without a clear call to action, is a missed opportunity. You've just spent the last minute or two building excitement and interest. Now, you must channel that energy into a tangible action. The CTA should be simple. The CTA should be visually prominent wishlist on Steam coming soon. Follow for updates they work. This final screen, or end slate, should contain all the essential information in one place. Display your game's logo and title clearly. PC, Switch, PlayStation, other platforms. If you have a release date or window, even if it's just 2026, include it. Most importantly, provide the direct link to your primary storefront, like your Steam page. Make it as easy as possible for an interested player to go from watching your trailer to wishlisting your game. This end slate should remain on screen for at least 5 to 7 seconds, giving viewers enough time to read the information and click any on-screen links. For more in-depth YouTube presentation, a 6-minute pacing plan allows you to expand on this structure. You can dedicate the first minute to a condensed version of your main trailer, acting as a powerful hook for the entire video. The next 3 to 4 minutes can be a deeper dive where a developer calmly talks over gameplay, explaining core systems progression. This section is for the highly engaged viewer who wants to know more. You can use YouTube's chapter feature to clearly mark these sections, allowing viewers to easily navigate to the parts that interest them most. The final minute of this extended format should bring it all home. Reiterate the game's core promise with a memorable tagline, perhaps the same one from the very beginning, to create a satisfying loop. Then, present your clear call to action and end slate. This longer format respects both types of viewers, those with only a minute to spare and those who are hungry for more information. Whether your trailer is 90 seconds or 6 minutes long, the goal remains the same: to honestly and excitingly present the soul of your game, and to give every interested player a clear path to joining you on the journey. Wishlist on Steam. Visit the store page. Follow for updates. Presented with honesty, built with heart. Replay the hook, then dive deeper with chapters below. Choose your path, quick trailer or full breakdown.